Okay. Hello, Professor. Hope you're having a great day. Today, my team and are going to discuss about disaster and recovery planning. My team members are Humaira, Adil, and Shilila. We have done the PPT on the disaster and recovery planning. So, I'll start with how the numerous organizations carry out activities in the manufacturing production of the equipment. The production of the equipment takes place and it's possible for development in different countries as they help out various activities. There is an information technology system that is centralized and involves database servers and applications to facilitate the management of the inventory, production, and finance. The paper will provide illustrations on the risk assessment, mitigation planning, strategies for everyone, updating and testing recovery plannings in ACEM cooperation. So, in cooperation, note the importance of identifying possible threats, risk of the system of information technology, and business activities. The assessment of the possibilities of such disasters make organization ready to handle the issues related to disasters, since they can affect the organization by enduring physical destruction. So, risk assessment helps the organization realize the possibility of the threats that can occur in cybersecurity, such as ransomware, malware, and other attacks that may expose the data to criminals that will question our confidentiality and integrity of the data. So, the assessment of power distribution makes the organization work to ensure there is a backup when such situations occur. Another threat that can occur to a hot organization is the distribution of supply chain, which is a distributing occurrence in the supply chain that can significantly affect the inventory and also production of the management. So from the next slides, it is going to continue by Adil.
Um, in instance of disruption in the organization, ACME must implement various strategies that ensure the handling of the disaster. One strategy is to ensure redundancy and backup. Thus, it is essential to ensure a backup of the data should there be a case of disaster and the disappearance. The backup copies remain. The company must ensure there is maintenance of redundant system to help ensure there is a quick recovery in organization. Another strategy, ACME instructions should be put in place in cloud-based solution. The organization needs to make good use of the storage of data and service related to the cloud and the use of housing to ensure their resilience and accessibility. Using a team is a good strategy to recover since it helps ensure the right process for recovery and appropriate communication with the stakeholders in the organization. Another strategy is putting protocol on remote work. The organization should ensure implementation and develop protocols to work in remote areas to help in operations of the business during disruptions. A recovery plan involves procedural steps that act as guided that needs to be followed in disaster. A recovery plan needs an immediate response. The immediate response process involves activating the response team during disaster recovery. Also, the organization needs to ensure there is a proper coordination and communication. Proper communication channels are essential both internally and externally for the stakeholders. Another recovery plan involves conducting recovery of system and data by restoring data from backing ensures there is activation of redundant system and ensure there is regular testing of system to ensure they are operating properly. Last, it is crucial to carry out an analysis of after the end of the incident to ensure advancement in the business process. Now, a friend will continue testing and updating.
Hi guys, my name is Humaira, and um, now we'll talk about testing and updating. ACME must conduct thorough testing and updating to ensure the efficiency of the business plan. The company needs to ensure continuous drills by testing different incidents of disasters and assessing the adequacy of the procedures involved in the recovery. And also, there is a need for the organization to ensure there are updates on the business continuity plan. And updating the plan is important since it helps take a different direction depending on the types of incidents that took place before. And the Unplanned or ones that were not on the radar may call for the sudden changes and update of the business plan. And lastly, the organization should be able to gather the lessons obtained from actual incidents and testing. And the communication plan is yes, in a situation where a disaster has occurred, ACMA should communicate with stakeholders internally and externally. Internal communication ensures that there is a utilization notification system in emergency events, and also ACMA should have well established communication hierarchy, which will help communication take place through the proper channels. And an external communication plan should be able to maintain contacts with the organization's customers, partners, and suppliers. The enterprise has strategies to use public relations in managing external views. And now moving on to the business continuity planning. ACME Corporation is an organization that is involved in the industrial production of various items. The organization has maintained its data centrally, and moreover, all its IT infrastructure is maintained centrally, which prompts a major risk. And the steps that will be included in the paper are risk assessment, continuity strategy, continuity plan, communication plan, and testing and updating. And all the steps provide a comprehensive undertaking in disaster recovery and business continuity. And the risk assessment is an important phase conducted in the business continuity plan by ACME Corporation, which allows the identification of various risks that may affect the organization. And they are the disasters that occur naturally outside the control of an organization. Some of these risks may include hurricanes, floods, lightning, and earthquakes. And the risk may include the failure of the suppliers to deliver on time, which ultimately affects industrial manufacturing, or the increased inventory levels, which hold the organization's capital. And thirdly, ACME Corporation also faces the risk of data loss. And from here, the next person, Srili, now will take over from here. Thank you.
Yeah, here are a few corporations like ACME has implemented a continuity strategy which includes mitigation strategy, where the organization undertakes the installation of the necessary preventive measures that would allow the prevention of errors. And also, the organization will utilize cloud computing solutions for remote working, data backup, and storage. These strategies will be essential to allow for business continuity in the organization after the emergence of disasters. Moreover, the organizations can include alternative sites that allow the running of operations during disasters. Essentially, in the continuity strategy, the organization includes a remote working strategy that allows the employees to conduct their operations from different locations. And the organizations also undertakes the recovery strategy. Under the recovery strategy, this organization starts with the activation of the response team, installation of redundancy systems, and backup sites. Here, the continuity plan is usually an important step that is coupled with the continuity strategies that the organization undertakes. And in that, the first one is the activation of the CSRIT team. And the second one is the organization will undertake a risk assessment which allows the identification of various risks and their severity. Thirdly, the organization will include the business impact analysis that allows the enumeration of its critical functions. And this process is coupled with training and awareness. And the next step will include the actual implementation of the recovery measures installed in the organization. The communication plan determines the communication protocols followed by the organization in the combating the disasters. The communication plan also outlines the multiple channels that will be utilized in communication. For the external stakeholders, the organization will utilize social media and emails for all official communications. Lastly, in communication, The organization will provide regular updates every 24 hours on mitigation to deal with the disaster. And coming to testing and updating, it's the last process in the disaster recovery planning. The process will include the use of various approaches to test the efficiency of the plan implemented. The updating is a process undertaken after the testing that allows the implementation of the necessary measures to cover the vulnerabilities identified in the business continuity plan. And for this presentation, we took few references from the journals and books and etc. And thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.